Oh, there we go. Now we got the stream working. Whew, thank you for bearing with me, folks. It's happening now. All right, all right. Glad you enjoyed that very good prank that I did. I really got you all. You should have seen the looks on your faces. Ha ha ha. Incredible. Just so good. Such a great spoof, a great little prank to start off our Saturday. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm Caldwell, and I'm going to be drawing some pictures for you. I looked through the comments, and it seems like an overwhelming amount of people wanted Balnor Kong. And I'm not going to draw that, but a lot of other people wanted me to draw Erdan and Ilsed and Lucanus, specifically, I think from their schoolboy days. Schoolboy might not be quite right. Their college Magic Academy days, and I think that probably takes place in kind of a ephemeral British period of time where you're either I guess anywhere from 12 to 20, because that's how the British school system works. You're kind of just always in school. It seems like you just kind of skip right from like elementary school to college, university as it were. Anyway, I'm doing great. 10 p.m. in Germany. What's up, Paula? Thank you for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed that digital whomping I gave to you. But now we're here. And we are going to be drawing some pictures. I'm checking in on the chat. Can we get them in Hogwarts uniforms and sort them into their houses? Actually, they all have a house already. I think they were sorted into the schools that they went to, if you'll recall. I'm going to start with Erdan here. I think this is going to need to be even more gaunt of a figure. There we go. Maybe the ears are a little droopy, kind of like... Because this is a young Erdan, so this is going to be a cool Erdan. I think they were all necromancy folks. Maybe Lucanus wasn't. They probably, started out together and then changed houses eventually. But let's go ahead and draw ourselves a little Erdan here. I was thinking it could be fun to draw them all kind of like posing or something. Not Breakfast Club style, but I guess Second Breakfast Club might be the way to put it. So maybe they're all kind of like... I guess it would probably be... I think what would be fun is if we've got Erdan and Lucanus kind of like posing together, and then maybe Ilsed off to the side a little bit, like wishing that he was more of a part of it. And this is like a group photo. I'm checking in on the chat. Can we get Balnor Kong art? I would love to squeeze in. That is... that's what happens in Harry Potter. They basically just black out and then they're wizards. It's funny. Gotta love young hot elves with pince-nez glasses. Absolutely. I'm gonna just go ahead and build those in right there. I think, yeah, what kind of pose do we want for these two? I think Erdan is still very confident. So maybe he's kind of like posing a little bit. I think Erdan is maybe the one that's got his arm around Lucanus. I'm gonna flip this head real quick. Maybe get more of a head-on pose, actually. Just getting like the rough gesturing in real quick. Are you gonna draw Bubbles too? I think we asked if Bubbles was there yet, and Bubbles was not in the picture yet. I feel like Bubbles is an affectation of a lonelier, sadder man. And also, when you're in college, you really shouldn't have a pet yet. Like, you're not that responsible. I guess like some people did. Some people like snuck in a cat or a dog, and it was cool because you'd be at a party and all of a sudden there was a dog there. So maybe I don't know. Maybe like I like to think that he probably got Bubbles like soon after the events unfolded here. Maybe he's like tussling Lucanus's hair or doing something. Let me see here. What do we think? Do y'all have any thoughts? Ilsed is a little goth, absolutely. Maybe he's getting like a noogie, or like a friendship noogie. I need to see this Triniville Dryad. Perhaps at some point. Reagan Nettles, it's your dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Nettles. I hope you're having a great one. I'm trying to figure out this pose and make it not look too I mean, you could look a little suggestive, I think, but you don't want it to be too suggestive. Maybe he's just kind of like jumping in here. And he's kind of like losing his balance a little bit. Maybe Bubbles was just a living black cat then. I love that. Who needs parents? Spell it skeleton cat. I think, yeah. You know, maybe he didn't have a pet because he was such good friends. He didn't need that emotional support yet. This is the part of the live stream where I desperately try to figure out a pose I like. Get ready. Strap in, friends. Just two bros being bros in college. Should Erdan play an instrument, maybe? Should I draw an instrument live on stream? I don't think so. Don't want to do that. Drawing a saxophone is the hardest thing. It could be like a little flute, maybe. But again, I think this is more of like a fun pose of buddies. This is a bud pose. Maybe he's like resting on his head. That could be fun. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this. It's kind of like a, what are you doing up there? Oh, wait, I got it. I got it, y'all. So how is everyone doing today? Eric Drake, didn't realize it was live, lol. Oh my gosh. Have him playing spoons. I had a beautiful Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for asking. I carved the banana. I made peace between Zards and Kongs. Truly the best time one could have. I actually had a little Friendsgiving with some folks. It was lovely. We had too much food, which was fantastic. We brought, like, we were like worried when we came that we didn't bring enough food and there wasn't going to be enough. But then like everybody brought 1 to 2 dishes, which was fantastic. So there was just like a surplus. There was like 5 different stuffings and like we had multiple pies. So much turkey, and then like, you know, there's honestly a lot of great, like, you know, vegetarian options too. Man, it was a dream Thanksgiving, and then everyone was yelling, but like in a friendly way. Nobody was like upset with each other. It was rad. I really recommend, you know, breaking things up with a Friendsgiving every once in a while. For those Americans, how was y'all's Thanksgivings? I did peel a banana and hold it in my hands, as is tradition, as is the new tradition. It's the only tradition now that I follow. You know, it's kind of superseded all other traditions. It's just the holding of the banana. I think maybe he's got like, yeah, okay. Oh, man. I love drawing people before tragedy struck their lives. It's really good, y'all. I recommend. Big recommend. Maybe this what's like here. I think Ilset is kind of like, oh, ha, ha, what's happening? Oh my. Just kind of happy to be involved, I would say. It was my 15th anniversary of being in the U.S. Congratulations, Amy. Yes, dude, had several times the recommended serving of food and wine. Oh, hell yes. You got to do that. You must. You simply must. That was the other thing about this party that I went to, y'all. Not to keep bragging about it, but like, there was hot cider and cold cider. That's how good a party it was. Also, you know what else is great about this drawing? Everyone's wearing robes, which means I don't have to draw anything. It's just going to be some very basic shapes. Okay, so we got kind of like a rough layout for our dudes here. I think we got to get a little more of a line there. I think we can start roughing in faces. What do y'all think? Man-eating plant from the flashback. I'm checking in. Second year now that my family's establishing a tradition of playing D&D over Thanksgiving break, and it's wonderful. Oh, I am jealous. That sounds so dope. We played a game last night, or I guess on Thursday, called Chronology, which was very fun. It is a game where you attempt to place events in history in order, and it's honestly more so a game that is designed to make you realize how stupid you are. So you just like the further the game goes on and the more dates that are on the field, the dumber you feel. Can Erdan have a rose tucked behind his ear? Yes, absolutely. Runcible, welcome to the stream. We are drawing Erdan, Lucanus, and Ilsed in their magic school days. I learned how to draw a rose for that t-shirt that we did for the London shows. And it's very simple. It's just kind of like a lot of... It's kind of just like drawing a lot of lips. Interlocking. And you just kind of draw them like folding over each other until it feels good. And then, I mean, obviously you erase a lot is kind of the key here. That's like what I would recommend. But yeah, we got like a general rose shape in there. We can flesh that out a little better. I would love you guys to play a different system than D&D. There are so many others that deserve love. I agree. It could be fun to do some one-shots with other systems. I will say, I always like playing with the D20 and a lot of dice. I think like dice-heavy systems are fun because they offer a little more chance and variety. I know a lot of systems just use D6s and those are good, but I'm a D20. I'm a D20 man myself. But I've heard a lot of good things about. I've heard a lot of good things about like the Powered by Apocalypse stuff and like Call of Cthulhu. So there's definitely like other things I would love to try. But I don't know. I think D&D is like, we're just so familiar with it as a kind of story engine. I think it's good to stick with. But you know, we could see, I think like it would be fun to try and do some one-shots or mixed bags that involve other games and just test them out. Yeah, what systems do you recommend? Call of Cthulhu one-shot could be fun. I'm checking in on the chat now. I've played Microscope, which is like that, but instead you make events up and you're not allowed to be stupid. Bad rule. Why would you not be allowed to be stupid? That seems like the best rule. Let's see. D20 feels so good to roll. I agree, Magnaz888. If I remember, a different D&D podcast didn't fare so well when they switched systems. I think that everyone was very incorrect in their assessment if you're thinking of the show that I was thinking of, because I think that the new season is very good as well. Ooh, yeah, I would love to get into Call of Cthulhu. That seems very fun. I love messing with insanity. All right, so I asked Murph, and I believe that Erdan has kind of curly hair, like a real mop top, and also probably like kind of big, I would say like droopy, kind of dreamy eyes is probably what we want this elven lad. Let's go ahead and get those in there. I feel like the sort of eyes that like when you're a cool dude look very chill, but if you're you know, a sad man, they look depressing. Is what we're going to be ending up with here. That's my hope, at least. And I do want these ears to be just a little flatter. Let's see. Play Fiasco. It's a Coen Brothers movie simulator. Okay. That seems hard to condense into one system. Caldwell, you're making such a good effort to draw and read the chat at the same time. I want you to have an assistant there. Well, normally I try to have a guest on, but it's Thanksgiving weekend, and I didn't want to force anyone to come sit in my little closet with me. But in the future, I'm going to try and have more guests on, because I do like having someone to help read the chat. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Erdan is a hoot, according to Lucanus. Yeah, that's why he's posing for the camera. That's why he's mugging for this recording orb. He can definitely be holding something in this hand, I think. I'm gonna like rough in a hand here, but I always like to give the chat an option to exert their influence. So if you've got an idea for something that should be in this hand, hit me the F up. Let's see here. Here's a problem that I always ran into. I always make the heads too big, and then I got to shrink them. Do you guys have an idea of when the all-nighter will happen? Not yet. We have been planning all of our holiday stuff and recording with Amir, so we're kind of focused on that. But I think it will probably happen sometime in the new year. We would love to do it in January, I think, so that we, can kind of kick the new year off with such a fun thing. But don't hold me to that yet, but hopefully January, I think is what we're getting at. So, Dan making, I said Erlen, Freudian slip, making a hang loose gesture is very good. This is a Bohemian hang loose gesture, not a Congo Bongo hang loose gesture. I'm missing any questions here. Mutants and Masterminds is a fab D&D-like system, but superheroes and villains instead. Very into that. I'm seeing beer and a wand. He could be like conjuring. He could be using his mage hand to make a hang loose gesture. I can't remember if mage hand is supposed to be invisible or not. But I like the idea of a visible mage hand doing a hang loose gesture. Oh, I'm glad you like the floofy hair. It's always fun drawing people who are carefree and untroubled by the burdens of the world. That's the best. Let's see if I can get this. A rose would not be the best flower to stick behind your ear unless you, I guess, prune it first. Otherwise, you're just getting thorns up in there. But I imagine our boy thought about that beforehand. It's going to be very hard for me to not just draw 3 links from Legend of Zelda. Maybe that's what'll happen. We'll see. Give him like a little bit of a... He's got to have a little bit of a smirk, right? He's got to be like a little bit of a bad boy. Maybe he's even like... Yeah. I kind of like the eyes bigger. More open. We'll see. Ooh, fiddling with facial expressions. That's what I do my whole life. I know how to make it with my face. It's just when I have to make them on someone else's face, that's hard. What's everyone saying? This is ridiculous. Plot twit. He's holding the orb of casting. He invented it back in his school days. So all the dead gods are going to have the Adam Driver voice? Yeah, of course. You have no choice. That's just how it is. Picture older Erdan with glasses, but not sure about young Erdan. I think young Erdan, maybe even if he needed glasses, like didn't wear them, probably would just like cast a spell of... not lesser restoration. What's one below lesser restoration? Minuscule restoration, so they didn't have to wear glasses, so he could maintain his cool boy look, I think is what would happen. Alright, I'm going to shrink these boys down. Sometimes you gotta shrink the boys. It's okay. Erdan's mojo levels were too high. Now he's settled at a more sustainable level. Yes, peek behind the screen. Murph does keep mojo level tabs on every character. It is, of course, imported from the Austin Powers D20 system, where you have a mojo level, and you need to maintain it at all times. If your mojo level drips too far, Dr. Evil does take over the world. That's actually the next campaign. Campaign 2 is going to be running on the Austin Power D69 system. You have one ability every day called O Behave, where you can negate a player's actions and force them to have sex with you. Consensually, of course. But it's a great system. Mike Myers is going to be joining us. He wrote the RPG, of course. He's looking for a new project. Very excited to test it out with him. I think it's going to be great. I think that A lot of new fans. Old fans are going to be excited about it. We're going to get some new fans. All the Powers heads are going to be coming in for this one. We might do like a Shrek crossover at some point. It's going to be great. Can Murph please have you roll for Mojo during the big live stream? I think absolutely. The thing about the live stream is we will probably have a chat going. So I imagine that the chat's influence will bleed in on occasion. Now people are just saying 69. Amy, thank you so much for watching the new Big City Greens. If everyone hasn't seen it yet, I think they're airing it again on occasion. But it had a voice that I did in it. I voiced a YouTube influencer in the most recent Big City Greens episode. I think it turned out really fun. And you can watch that on, well, not Disney Plus yet, but on Disney Channel or iTunes or YouTube or Amazon. I think it's airing again on Disney Channel at some point if you look it up. Let me see. I guess Lucana should have kind of a like, or are we allowed? Kind of expression. He's a real bashful boy. Maybe he's got more of like like that kind of nose for him. Now, Murph told me that he pictured Lucan as having green eyes and then long blonde hair. It's a real bookish sort. Maybe he's got a book under this arm too. I kind of like that idea. Then we can all come up with an idea for what the book is. I do think maybe he should be a little more tired, but like tired from partying as opposed to tired from, the world destroying him. See, I like these. Eyes are tough, y'all. Fiddle with those later. Caldwell, can you talk more about the new stuff you gave the gang in Trinivale, or will that be a short rest event? Yeah, we'll probably talk about it when we do a short rest. We kind of end up glomming together a lot of short rests for Trinivale just because of our schedule. But yeah, if you have any questions specifically, let me know. But generally, let's see. I gave Murph a new sword, so it's just a stronger sword, but it has an ability called the Infinite Cheeks of Destiny, which after he does a Divine Flourish, which is essentially a reflavored Divine Smite, he can roll a performance check, and based on the strength of that performance check, he can do different bardic abilities. So when we were playing, Murph rolled a D20, rolled a natural 20, which meant that he was able to basically like a D20 to 15. He would have gotten to use Tasha's Hideous Laughter, or maybe whatever is directly above that as far as levels go. I can't exactly remember. It might be Tasha's Hideous Dancing or something like that. They're all performance-based spells that you can do. Let's see. Onyx's is basically just kind of a reskin of her Trinstagram game, but now instead of like gaining money for it, every time she does a spell or a warlock invocation, she rolls a charisma check, I believe. I can't remember if it's charisma or I can't remember specifically what the check is for. But she rolls it, and there are 3 tables depending on how good the post is. If she hits a certain point in the middle, it's just a normal post and nothing happens. If she gets a really high score, something good can happen. And if she gets a really bad score, it's a bad post and everyone gets mad at her, and there's a lot of different random effects that can take place. So yeah, it's like that. And then Nyack basically, the way that he was playing his ranger character and the way that we're playing this campaign, there's just not a lot of opportunities for him to use a lot of the like cool ranger abilities. And I also think he chose like the hunter class, so there's just like not a lot for him to do, unfortunately. So I decided to buff him up by giving him some new kind of abilities with the champion subclass. So it basically just like I took a look at everything in the ranger section that he should be able to do, and everything that he like wasn't using, I just stripped it out and then replaced it with a new kind of jam ability. To make sure that it wasn't overpowered, I added in the wild jam surge, or the wild jam roll. So like every time he uses a jam point, he has to roll on the table, and if he rolls, I think it's like wild magic rules. If he rolls a 1, if he rolls above a 1 on the first time, he doesn't, nothing happens. And then the next time, if he rolls above a 2, nothing happens, and so on and so forth. However, if he rolls a 2 or a 1 or whatever number based on what the jam surge is at, he'll have to roll on the jam table, and there's another set of random effects there. I am very much rambling. I hope that all makes sense. Does he have the ability Jammy Dodger? Yes, I think that is one of the abilities he has that gives him advantage on dexterity and strength checks. I thought Erdan had the pince nez because Bev tried to put some on to match him, right? Oh my gosh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally goofing on this. Yeah. Erdan has the pince nez. Thank you so much for catching that. Oh man, this is going to make him look kind of like a John Lennon, which I think is really going to work in his favor. I was worried about adding pince nez to Erdan as a young man, but yeah, that's going to do it. Yep, that's kind of fun. Maybe they'll be even further down. Great catch, thank you. Did I thoroughly explain all of that? By the way, I was really rambling on. I have like a actual. I'll probably post the exact rules for it at some point, but I'm still kind of tweaking it. And someone on Twitter actually, I don't know if they're in this chat room or not, sent me some rules that they made for a champion subclass that I want to maybe incorporate if possible as well, depending on if Jake/Nyack is into it. But yeah, let me check in on the chat. It's been a while since I looked. He gets into a sticky situation when he fails the roll. Exactly, Joseph. One of my favorite moments of the series. Thank you. Also, Rangers Loki need a jam point system to balance out. I think some of the other martial classes for, or some of the the subclasses for Ranger are a little better. Like Gloomstalker is pretty cool. It's just like the vanilla Hunter class. While kind of the more traditional Ranger class, it's not great for the kind of campaign that we're playing. If you're playing like with a mat and like in a campaign where you're like in the woods more often, or just like kind of on adventures in general, then I think it would work really well. But we're not doing much like foraging and exploring really. It's a little more on rails what we're doing. Honestly, I think like that Ranger might work better in like even Bohemia. Erdan looks freaking dope. Oh, Andrew, great question. Draga comes out, I believe, next week. I have to confirm the date because I'm not involved in the dropout chats or the kind of the dropout scheduling. But I'm almost positive, and don't hold me to this, that it comes out. I believe like the end of next week. So stay tuned for that. I think a trailer should be dropping on YouTube this week, which I'm excited for people to see. You can actually see it if you watch the end of the live show they did at New York Comic Con. But yeah, I think it's going to be really fun. I think that we should give Lucanus like those long kind of link sideburn tassels. I like those. Let me see. Uh-oh. Now it's time to play Does the Arm Make Sense? Did I make it make sense? Let's find out. Maybe this should be more of like a... I kind of like that droopy nose that I'm giving him here. Maybe it's a little more... There we go. Did Lucanus and Erdan ever hook up? Not for me to say. Just putting that out in the world, I guess. The trailer dropped on Dropout. That's true. Yeah, if you have Dropout already, you can watch the trailer. Can you ramble in Robot? Also, I'm super looking forward to Draga series coming to Dropout. When do you get to do Dimension 20? One day, hopefully. Y'all got to keep. You know what? Just here's the thing. I think you've all learned this from Murph. Just adding someone is great, and everyone loves it. So just at Brennan. You know, just start a a campaign to get me on Dimension 20. Don't actually do that. I would love to go on at some point, but you know, everyone's schedules are hectic. But if we can make it work, I would love to go on. I'm happy to go on if they need me. But you know, there's also a lot of incredibly talented people that will be better than me at that, so I'm not too worried. Maybe he's got... Where should this arm go? I guess maybe just like down here. Yeah, that feels good. Any tips for a player whose DM won't work with you? What does that mean? I would love a little more information or specifics about that. A revised ranger that cribs on warlock design would be dope. Wizards of the Coast is attached to favored enemy terrain progressions. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think that like there's definitely. I mean, I feel like Wizards of the Coast is coming out with all sorts of new stuff all the time. Like all the Unearthed Arcana is very fun, so I'm sure that they're fiddling with that at some. They are fiddling with that, and we'll add in some new stuff before too long. What brushes do you use to sketch like this? I just started using Photoshop and I haven't found one I like yet. This is, thank you for asking, the, I believe it's the, why is it not showing it now? This is driving me crazy. It's one of the Kyle pencil brushes, not Perfect Pencil Basic. I think it is, one sec, scrolling down, scrolling down, scrolling down. Lost forever. I think it's just the. I honestly like spent in the first version of this video that I deleted because it was just me trying to figure out how to get the stream working. I spent a lot of time figuring out which brush I was using, and now I've totally forgotten. It's one of the Kyle pencil brushes that comes with Photoshop, but I can't find it right now, and I'm not going to waste any more time doing that because I gotta draw these boys. But yeah, if you look for like the Kyle pencil brushes, it's one of those. Gotta figure out what to do with this arm. This is the way. This is always what. This is always what impedes me when I draw. Figuring out where arms go, y'all. Okay. I'm checking in on the chat. When you guys think you will ever try different games like Call of Cthulhu or Cyberpunk? Necessarily recommend that. Ali says, he singles me out, takes spells away, and says no to ideas, characters I have. Ooh. I would say, you should, like, mention this to them. I don't know if they're doing it intentionally. They might not even know that they're doing it, and it might just be bad behavior on their part. It's worth talking to, like, the other players in your group to see if they've noticed this. I'm giving this person perhaps more benefit of the doubt than they need, but a lot of people act shitty and sometimes don't know that they're acting shitty and don't want to be, and when you bring it up with them, they might change. Worst case, I guess, like, join a different D&D group. That sounds rough. I'm sorry to hear that you're having a bad time, though. But also, yeah, I mean, maybe your DM wants it to be more of, like, a collaborative experience, in which case I guess you can try, like, working with them on developing new stuff and, like, stuff for your character. I guess, it's not super good that they want so much ownership, but, like, you can maybe meet them halfway. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling again. Hey, Caldwell, had to pause Mixbag to check in. Oh, thank you so much, Minos. It's good to see you. Don't harass your DM. They work hard as it is. All right, I think if he's kind of like... I'm going to get myself into trouble with these fingers, but I think this feels nice. I think I'm going to go back to the open eyes, though, here. I like that. Give our boy some bright open eyes. He's enthusiastic. The whole world. He's got the world on his shoulders. So much to look forward to. They're going to be wizards. How cool is that? It must be great. The first day of wizard school must be awesome. You're just like, you don't have to have class yet. You're just drunk and you get to be a wizard. Alright, let's go ahead. Maybe we can start roughing in some robes here too. Let's see. Giving up on coursework to be here. Thank you so much, Savane. I hope that this doesn't permanently affect your grade in your life, but I think it's a good decision. A question from Wallace. What got you into drawing? I really liked newspaper comics as a kid, and I wanted to learn how to draw Garfield and other characters from the newspaper. It was as simple as that. I feel like a lot of people have, like, you know, a grand reason behind it, but I just really wanted to, like, be a cartoonist because I liked the comics from the newspaper. And that was enough for me. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna give him... Yeah, maybe not super long robe arms. So we can have it like that. Ooh, maybe, you know what? I think our Dan is like rolling his robe sleeves. Yeah, for sure. So cool. It's hard to make wizards' robes cool, but that is the challenge that we've given ourselves here. Somebody, how's your Garfield? Of course. My Garfield is great. Here, I'll bust one out for you. Let me see if I can still remember. Yeah, there we go. It's in deep. You don't... This is not something you forget. It's like that. Yeah, there we go. And then he's got these things. And wow, who knew that Garfield was there the whole time? But there he is. And I'll draw like the weird, strange Garfield that they draw now, where he's just like standing on his hind legs, like an abomination. He's got like, there we go. This is far from a perfect Garfield, but there's one. There, leave me be. I've given you your Garfield. Can Garfield be Bubbles? Yes. He's like, get along with these two, huh? I ain't get along with this. This is wizard school or what? Where can a guy get something to eat around here? I've got a magic hunger. I love it. I want dead Garfield as Bubbles canon. If you put skin... It's hard to draw robes that aren't just like instantly bathrobes, you know? Because that's always what happens when I draw a robe. It just instantly becomes like, oh, you drew a bathrobe. That's just a bathrobe, my man. But I guess it's kind of got like a... It falls there. Yeah, okay, we're getting there. I guess they need like a nice belt so that they can hold all their tinctures and stuff. It's kind of got one of those long one of those Gandalfy belts. It's going through there and then back around. Yeah. Let's give them some boots. They're elves, so they got like nimble ass boots. You know how elves be doing with their boots. They're always wearing boots made of like leaves or some bullshit. Or like, I don't know, a feather that they enchanted into being boots. Sorry, that's just how it is. I don't want to speak out of turn, but that's what they do. That's like how they do it. I'm wearing a robe now. Allie, congratulations. That is the Saturday Dream. NADPOD confirmed as the third part of the Garfield movie trilogy. They do overlap. It's fun. We've been working with Paws, Jim Davis's company, and we're happy to announce that. So thank you. Yeah, you heard it here first. We're going to be, DreamWorks is animating it, and we're going to be in there. We're going to be doing the voices, the motion capture, the whole shebang, honestly. Elves, am I right? Okay, this has got to be pushed a little more here. Okay, we're getting there, y'all. No one can stop us now. We gotta work on this Ilsed, though. Now, in my head, Ilsed is like Snape, but with white hair. So very sharp features. I feel like Ilsed here is like, thinks that, like, doesn't get it. Thinks that maybe Erdan is actually assaulting Lucanus. Definitely got some cheekbones. Maybe that's too much chin. Kind of like a weaker chin. There we go. Just got here. What is Garfield doing with those elven dorks? You know what? Oh, he should be doing that, like... Garfield enrolled at the Wizard Academy because he wanted to learn how to make a magic lasagna. And this is welcome to my one-shot. I hope you're all excited. Actually, speaking of that, if you are looking for content to watch after this stream, there is an episode of Table Pop where I play John from the Garfield franchise. And I go on an improvised adventure with Eli and Brian and Caroline from Dorkly, and it's very fun. I had a very good time playing John and slowly losing my mind as we try to track down the hungering menace known as Garfield. So yeah, if you're looking for something to watch, I recommend that. Also, Table Pop is very good in general. There's a lot of good episodes. Also, Mega Dungeon Live. Brian is another great DM. If your name is Brian, you have to be. It's the rule. Who does a lot of fun stuff for Dropout if you're looking for more of that sweet, sweet D&D content. All right. Let's get back over to Lucanus. No. Ilsed. Ilsed is the one guy at school who still thinks Bad Luck Brian memes are funny. Just wrecking the group chain. Oh, maybe he's got like the... Oh, Ilsed. You dork. What is with this hair? What are you doing, buddy? He's got like the one strand here. I feel like, thank you so much. Which area in Bohemia do you think would be really cool to revisit for a side quest? Oh, that's a great question. Personally, I would love to go back to Esri, because we were there very briefly and on a very specific mission. And we never got to go to Renee's. Not that I'm still mad about that or anything. Esri would be really fun. A lot of the places, I feel like we got like a really good feel for them. Smuggler's Bounty, obviously, would be great. We still haven't been to Asmodeus, and I imagine that we hopefully we'll get to go at some point. But I would love to go there. Yeah, I hope that everyone is caught up, because if you're not, this is a kind of a weird episode to jump in on. Let me find... Oh, I'm going to switch this to... Oh my gosh, my eraser was on pencil mode. Are you serious? Cool. He's got like hand up here. Elven hands are great because they're just like so skinny. You don't even have to... You can just draw kind of like... just little pointy bits, and that like reads as elven hand. I imagine that... Let's see, yeah. What a dork. Definitely wears a tie. Wears a tie under his robes every day. What an absolute wiener. How did this guy ever have sex 34 times? You know? Definitely got those like big, droopy robes. I think maybe Lucanus has got like tight robes. You know, they're like kind of... Maybe he's even got like he's got them like sealed off so that he can do like advanced maneuvers with his arms. So he can, like, practice his finger work. What's everyone in the chat saying? Does Bev have a fear of heights now? I think he did, but that's why he picked up the Featherfall spell. So that he doesn't have to act upon that. Yeah, he definitely has a fear of heights, but he's like, I guess, you know, like a true green teen, has prepared himself for that situation, so he doesn't have to worry about heights anymore because he's got the Featherfall ability. So like that's the green teen way to go about things. If you're scared of something, just prepare yourself so that you never have to deal with your fear. Never confront your fear. Fears are bad. Why have one? Why have one when you could just, you know, tie a bunch of knots and prevent yourself from ever feeling fear? Create an intricate system of pulleys so that you never have to feel a feeling. That's the green teen way. What do you think they wear, like, under their robes? Just like, maybe just like a normal shirt? Or would it be like sweaters? Something like simple like that? Maybe like a, you know what? Oh, it would be like a vest. Lucanus is definitely like a vest guy. I'm really just roasting all of these fellas. He's like a vest and an ascot person, I think. Yeah, that feels right. Erdan, this free wave motherfucker, though, absolutely is not wearing a shirt under there. Are you kidding me? No way. Beautiful. What a lively guy. Nothing's gonna stop him. With just like a cheerful dude that loves necromancy. I love him so much. Murph, I'm like upset at Murph all over again for what he's done. What he's done to our guy. Now, what's crucial here is that this robe has a little room in it where he could definitely store a kitty cat. A kitty cat could definitely get up in that robe, is what's happening here. It's important for you all to know that. There's kitty cat room in this robe. Garfield's just still there, huh? Erdan, bare-chested under there. Lucanus is a thought. Oopsie. Oopsie. What are you gonna do about it? Try and stop me. You can't. Funky Kong or Theala, who are you madder at? Like Theala overall, but like at the moment, Funky Kong, and also I think my hatred for Funky Kong burns brighter. Like Theala, you know, I can like understand why she did some of the things she did while I don't agree with them. Funky Kong's just a bastard who deserves everything he's got coming to him. I'm glad he isn't fully dead. Is Mavris actually Erdan's secret love child? Would explain a lot. You think Erdan got together with a tiefling? I believe it. Sure, why not? That's what happened. Let me see here. Roughing into some robes. Let me do some robe roughing. So we got a little bit of a late start, so I think we can go for a little longer than we normally would. I don't have much on today other than preparing for some Trinivales that we're going to record soon. But yeah, let's see. What is everyone saying in the chat? Talking about Funky Kong again. Erdan is naked except for cat papoose. Absolutely. He's got a cat sling under there. Kong Society sucked, but Funky was not the cure. Mavris was Draconic Bloodline. Yes, I think that was like his sorcerer path. I don't know how that manifests. There is a chance maybe Erdan and Quixis got together, and Mavris is secretly Quixis is secretly Mavris' dad. Just throwing out theories, like no wrong answers here. I would say, you know, whatever we think. Oh, let's give him some of that like long. Yeah, there we go. I wonder if he's got like a little bit of a top knot. That feels fun. Yeah, for sure. Oh, gonna get myself in trouble with complex finger motions. And then everyone's gonna have to watch me draw fingers. That feels alright. What do we think about these fingies, gang? Sound off about the fingies, if you wouldn't mind. Fingy rating, please. RateMyFingies.com. I never liked Funky Kong growing up. He just seemed like an arse. His hypersexualized. What, cousin? Not okay with Kid Emily. Fair enough. Funky Kong is so many things to so many people, I think. And that's the importance of Funky Kong, which you really honestly can't deny. Some people needed that funky figure in their lives. And some people were repulsed by it. But I think some people were repulsed because they saw something of themselves, for better or for worse, in there. Hi, welcome to my lecture. It is 5 hours long. And if you leave, you don't pass the class. That's how it is. Sleeves. What the fuck is up with sleeves? Hey, Caldwell, how hard is it to switch from pencil drawing to using a computer periphery like a drawing tablet? This one's pretty easy because it's connected like right to my computer, and it's an actual screen that I'm drawing on. So it feels pretty one-to-one. Goodbye, Garfield. But learning how to draw on like a Wacom tablet was definitely a little harder. One that like connects to the computer but doesn't have a screen on it. But it's definitely doable. It definitely is. It's just kind of like about tricking your brain into kind of switching how you perceive the inputs, I guess. It just takes a little time, I guess, like most things. But using like the Cintiq is actually pretty. It feels like pretty normal. Gotta slim up these fingers. I'm not delicate enough. Not delicate enough. He's an elf. God's sakes. Let me see here. Alright. Just zooming out. This is the one hard thing about computer drawing is sometimes you zoom in and don't have as good of a grasp on like the perspective and composition of your drawing. So I always try that. Let's draw some toes that I will then erase as guidelines. Is that part of the show where I just draw things that don't actually end up on canvas. There we go. What's Lucanus' school of magic? Do we know? I personally don't know. Whether that's because Murph hasn't told us or I just forgot remains to be seen. But I do not know off the top of my head, at the very least. I've done a classic Caldwell goof, and I made the head too dang big. Let's make that a little smaller. Get a little more that way. That's feeling right. That's feeling quite good. Love that head. Great head there. Just got kind of the hair like splashing down this way. It's very long. Man, you're just looking like an anime boy that's from a rich family. And you're snooty and no one likes you, but eventually you learn your lesson. Get some real Edgeworth vibes for this dude. School of Thoughtery. Lol, very good. Doing a Julia, drawing things you're gonna erase. He studied magic. Puha. I was drawing on a whiteboard for a fundraiser and tried to command Z. Oh, I've been there. Sued enemies to friends to lovers. Slow burn 100K. I got you. I see what you're doing. Maybe this one should go kind of like... Let's draw some fingers. redraw some fingers. Draw the fingers again. Let's play. How many times can we draw a finger? It's so many. Oh god, it's so many. I will never be done drawing fingers. Does anyone have any more story questions I can help out with? Been listening to some 8-Bit Book Club episodes. Do you miss reading books and watching shows and recording it? No. Watching the shows was fun. Reading the books was a lot of work. It was a lot of work to do weekly for a show. And while it was very fun to do, it was also very exhausting, and the books often were not great. I think I'm going to have to put this up higher. Something feels off about composition of our boy Ilsaid here. I'm going to have to figure that out. Have you been watching the most recent Mega Dungeon? Heelmo has big Nyack energy. I have not been able to see it for a while because I've been a little busy, but I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that there are more, just more dummies out there. D&D needs more dummies. Let's see here. I think I'm going to push that back a little bit. There we go. What's Bev most afraid of now that his dad is gone? That's a real ass question. I think probably losing the rest of his family and friends. I think he's less afraid and more just like redoubled in his efforts to protect them. Is that what I would say? If that makes sense. We're gonna get this, y'all. We need more dragons in Trinivale. Okay. Any reason? Dragons are fun to fight because they're very tricky. And I feel like with the dragon, it's very hard to gauge how the fight's gonna go. There's just like, I think maybe it's specifically because of their breath weapon that like things could go very well for you or very poorly for the player. So yeah, I'll put some more dragons in there. That seems fun. D&D needs more dummies. The world ending probably. His mom getting with Denny. Excuse me. How dare you? How dare you all? If anything happens to Martha Togel, we riot. I'm holding you to that. But I think Murph knows better. We'll see, though. We shall see. All right. Adjust the angle of this arm a little bit. Because it's that time of the show where we just tweak, tweak, tweak. Make little tweaks. I, for one, was relieved the Donkey Kong one-shot was non-canon. I don't think we would have done a canon Donkey Kong one-shot. I mean, it's canon in that universe. We've, of course, like the timeline has now been split. We've got, the Donkey Kong-verse, the Kongo-verse, of course. But then we've also got, like Bohemia Prime. So yeah, it's canon in its own way, I would say. For sure. Maybe he should have tighter robes. Oh, that actually feels good. Sometimes when you need a solution to a problem, the answer is to change everything you've done and give up. Just a fun little thought for you. It's not giving up, it's reinventing your future. That's what I would call it. All right, so we're getting close here. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. Is there anything else we want to add to this drawing before maybe we move on to some other little fun drawings? Because it's about... Oh my gosh, my computer's not plugged in. It's about 2:17 here, so we can draw for, you know, maybe about 30 more minutes or so, I would say. Let me clean up this hand, because it's a goddamn nightmare. Oh, he would definitely have those, like, long, weird elven sleeves that kind of go out like that, I think is what we need here. Yeah. Perfect. During the next campaign, will there be another side quest like Trinivale, maybe with Jake or Emily DMing? Gosh, I would love that. We shall see. I guess, like, because Trinivale, I was kind of mapping things out, probably has about, I think it'll probably end up being around 20 to 20, no more than 25 episodes. If I've made 25 episodes, I fucked up. So once that's done, yeah, I would love to maybe do like some more one-shots, maybe try some stuff out like the Call of Cthulhu stuff we were talking about, but I would love for Jake or Emily to jump into to DMing, because I would love to see what they come up with. And also, it's like so fun to come up with characters. That's like always one of the best parts of coming up or of playing D&D, is getting to like brainstorm about like your character and like chatting with a DM about it. So yeah, if we could arrange that, I would be very happy. Also, yeah, it would be fun to do more just like module stuff too. There's like so many fun, like I've always wanted to investigate Tales of the Yawning Portal, which is like one of the books that they came out with. It's kind of like a bunch of little like, I don't know if they're necessarily one-shots, but they're kind of like smaller adventures. Yeah, and then, you know, Call of Cthulhu, stuff like that. We'll see. Any word on how Jake feels now that he's been playing for a while? I mean, I think we all love it, and I think that, yeah, I think that it's just like it's a part of who we are now, in a big way. There goes those toes. There go my toes. Never needed them. All right, so let's see here. Danielle, I think we've got finished drawing and be like, oh, he just totally changed that arm. Huh. Interesting. What should I draw next? Does anyone have any thoughts? Are you guys going to do a character creation mixed bag? That's a fun idea. That's a very fun idea, actually. We'll probably, I mean, I don't know if we'll do a mixed bag or if we'll do, I mean, if it's for campaign 2, we'll probably like release an episode. But yeah, it'll probably be a mixed bag, actually. I don't know specifically like how we'll want to release that, but we'll do something. We'll record our character discussion process, I think, for sure. Yeah, did anyone have any thoughts about what I should draw next once this drawing is done? Please let me know. Please rescue me from myself, so that I don't just keep drawing folds in cloth. That's what you came to see, right? Me figuring out the physics of cloth. Balnor with a banana. It's got to be Balnor Kong, right? I mean, like, that's what we have to do. Apologies for coming in late and missing most of this. What about drawing the two-headed, brutal-toothed, sweet lies demon? Oh, the Manticore. That's interesting. Oh, wait, did we want Erdan to be holding something here, by the way? Or is he just making, like, a... is he just making the hang loose gesture? I like hang loose gesture. That feels good. Feels appropriate for our guy. If I can draw that. That shouldn't be hard, but... And yet... Sometimes the thing you think isn't going to be hard to draw is hard to draw. And that's life. Alright. Caveman hard one. Too bad Nathan isn't here to draw Rude Ape. He is the king of drawing rude apes. I don't know how he does it. Alright. There's our hang loose. This nasty Erdan. Just living his best life with his buds. I love this. Man, thank y'all for these good suggestions that y'all provide, because I love drawing, and I love drawing characters that we've met and like just fleshing them out a little more in my head. And I also love fucking up a perfectly good foot. That's what I love the most in life, I would say. It's when you have a good foot and you're just like, but what if it was different? What if I changed everything about it? All right. I'm feeling good. All right, so we got to draw. There's an ape. We must draw Balnor Kong. There's Garfield again. So, I think the fun part about drawing Balnor Kong is I can basically just use the... Donkey Kong was also one of those characters that I tried to master drawing as a kid. But I had a little less success because they just don't make sense, these apes. Just like, you think about what a gorilla is, and then you think about what Donkey Kong is, and it kind of makes sense a little bit, but then you start to like really think about it, and it's like, what is this fold? Like, what are these eyes? Donkey Kong. I have to look it up because it's just, it escapes my memory. It's this brow, and then, oh yeah, the eyes are just kind of like lost in there. They're just two eyes just sunk into this McDonald's arch of flesh for some reason. There we go. All right, yeah, that's it. Sadly enough, that's it. All right, so it's Balnor Kong. So I think it's gonna have to have a little bit of like the cranky vibe. Number one, it's gonna need to have like a shaggier eyebrows. Gonna look a little bit like Crow from Mystery Science Theater. And that's just gonna be a side effect of what we're dealing with here. Get that there. There. Now, how do you give a gorilla a mustache? That's the problem that we face today in the world. No, I'm going to be keeping the bedroom eyes. Balnor is a flesh and blood human being, and he has desires like all of us. And I think that's important to recognize. Let's see here. So I guess it would just be like... See, that just looks wrong, y'all. So that's his nose there. Now the best thing is he's kind of got the hat already. Like the little cap that we draw him with a lot of times. There we go. Looks kind of like a Donkey Kong head to begin with. So that's great. No need to change that. Maybe that works. It's so weird because that's just like, they're covered in hair. That's the one part that should have hair. Balnor Kong looks like he's been up for 50 hours straight and hasn't stopped hitting the banana bud heffies. Oh, that's very good. Well done. Maybe, all right. I'm truly troubled by trying to give a gorilla a mustache. It shouldn't be this difficult. Is it like start there? Oh, that's worse. That's so much worse. He definitely needs a banana and tuna sandwich. Very good point, Jeff. Well done. Is the bag a barrel now? Absolutely. That we know that much. That's not going to trip us up. I think that's what we're going to... All right, that doesn't look too bad. Okay, so yeah, he's got the barrel of holding up here. And then I think he'll probably be holding... oh, I got it, y'all. Here we go. Let's get that bottle in there. It's got a Bud Heavy. It is a Bud Heavy. It's in a bottle, though. And then he's just... How would this work? It wouldn't fit. It wouldn't fit in there is the thing. It's gonna have to be a super wide bottle. Because he's definitely got a banana just like right out of it. But I don't like the way that looks one bit. A Bud Heavy barrel. Oh. And there's got to be the barrel of holding. This is what everyone wanted. It's true. Caldwell is really pulling a monkey paw on us. This is not what I wanted when I asked for Balnor. What did you think you wanted? Tell me right now what you thought you were going to get. Tell me the fate you thought was unfolding before you. He does have bedroom eyes, and I'm seeing that now. And I'm trying to fix it, but I don't know if I can. I just don't know if it's possible. I don't think that helped. I don't know if that helped. But we're just going to have to live with it. Maybe it's like a tiny barrel bottle. And it's just got a banana right out the side. Yeah, there we go. So he's got the arm up here. Barrel holding. He looks like Ron Swanson a little bit. It's hard to make. Yeah, I gotta like. I've got to make this gorilla look less cool. But it's a gorilla. It's hard. Will Balnor and let them answer that question for their own via the narrative and roleplay. Because it is true. This is the campaign now. We threatened Murph. The response was so overwhelming that this is what we're going to be doing now. So I hope you're excited. Almost as disturbing as the sexy Balnor dragon. Yeah, not quite. I think that still takes the cake. I feel like I just got to give him... Alright. Just got to give him like more of a belly. And then like less of a body. More belly, less body. Maybe he needs like a little more of a smile up here. There we go. What if he's... Hold on. What if he's got like a... There we go. That's feeling right. Maybe his eyes need to be even smaller. This is always my favorite part of the drawing, is when you're just like figuring things out as you go. That's much better. I think we can all agree. That actually feels pretty good. I don't know why. That feels like Balnor. That feels like our guy. Somehow, giving him incredibly sunken, tired eyes. And a big mustache really did the trick. Probably get rid of his... Maybe he's got like just a normal nose. Maybe he's got one of those like really dumb clown noses, like that one from Donkey Kong 64. That feels right. All right, let's flesh this in, y'all. ape you never knew you needed. I guess if I was really trying to draw an accurate Balnor, I should have drawn him in like more of the Diddy Kong archetype, because he's clearly a I think he's clearly like falls into the little buddy space. Does ape Balnor sell snake oil? Why would he sell snake oil? He's an ape. He would sell banana oil if anything. Are gonna need to give him the nipples there. That's good. That's good. Oh, you know what's wrong? You know why this feels so off? I didn't give him his tie. That's what's I messed up. That's what's going on. Ugh. Excuse me. Where are my manners? I was like, I'm not used to seeing DK's belly button. And that's why, because he's got the nice red tie there. Okay. Why does this look so good? Normally, I have reservations about my drawings, but this speaks to me. This feels right. I feel like I've met my calling here. Like everything else was a lie up until this point. And now I've done a drawing I can truly be proud of. Thank you all for coming with me on this journey. I'm just gonna have it say Bud here. Figure that out later. Now, the one thing I do need to look up is like where their skin ends and their flesh begins. Okay, I see it. Yep. There it is. There's our hairy guy. I have a very specific memory of seeing the Donkey Kong art for the first time and being like, this is amazing. Computers are so powerful. I didn't think it was possible for computers to be this strong and to make something so cool and good. And I still feel that way. I'm disappointed every time I see anything else. I really, really wish I had the computer rendering power to make this look exactly like the late 90s Super Nintendo Donkey Kong model. I had to look away from the chat. How we doing? Did I miss anything? Are we all just admiring the ape? It's Saturday. Saturday afternoon. Time to admire the ape. What else could you possibly be doing? Do they let you admire the ape, buddy? They do. I'm very glad to hear that. It's Saturday night in my heart because I've drawn this, and it feels like it's party time. So yes, I know it might be Saturday night actually for some people, but I have time traveled, I think, by creating this ape. These feet are just a nightmare. They don't make a lick of sense. And for that, I must apologize. But I also must apologize because it's about time to end the stream. And I'm very sorry for that. But it simply must... It's simply what must happen. I feel like Time Warner is just going to come and like pull my connection in person if I keep drawing this incredibly rude ape. But thank you all so much for watching. I really love doing these. I'm excited. We will get them once I'm a little further along here. I'll get all the drawings up on screen again so that we can admire them all together. All these equally good drawings that I've done. Not a single bad one amongst the bunch, I would say. Just gonna add some hairlines, let people know. Dang. Beautiful. All right. Awesome. Thank you all so much. This was always so much fun. I'll be back next month with more drawing. I'm really glad you enjoy the streams. Let's get, there's Garfield. I'll put him down here. There's our guys. Wow, yeah, this was fun. I'm going to add just a little more, maybe. There we go. There's our elven friends. I'll end on them. I think that's probably good. Oh, I gotta finish up this hand a little bit. No worries. Thank you all so much for watching. Just post the Garfield on the Patreon and write, I drew bubbles. Great job. Great idea, Josnak. Yeah, this was so much fun. Thanks for bearing with me. And I will see you soon. Bye. This is ridiculous.